Welcome back once again to my channel. Today we have a how does your person feel about your reading. I'm going to cover some aspects of the reading if you've been dealing with someone or if you find yourself single. Firstly, if you have a person in mind or somebody has you in mind at this time, they're coming in with the energy of the Knight of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles, which means they are romantic, they're loving, they're dreamy, they're kind, they're a little bit of a Casanova, but they're coming to the table with an offer, somewhat like the universe working through this person to give you an offer for something that you have really wanted for a while. And that offer is a romantic gesture, love, kindness, but it comes with a concrete plan. It comes with a new beginning. It comes with some material weight. It comes with a foundation, but one that hasn't materialized yet. Just the potential for materialization, manifestation of something that will secure and protect the loving and kind offer. So that's the energy I'm getting. So if you're single, you're going to encounter someone like this. If you've got someone on your mind, or your person may not have made themselves known yet, this is what they're coming to the table with. So I asked, what does this person want from you? What is their intention from this connection? And we got now this, or naughties, or now these, now this. This is about two sticks rubbing together in order to create a spark. So they want passion. They have needs. They have things that they want you to fulfill for them. In addition to that, in certain circles, this rune symbolizes a partner coming into your life, someone new coming into your life, love coming into your life. Women would carry this rune in their pocket in order to attract a loving partner. And you're not going to find that on every piece of literature concerning this rune, but I did find this interpretation from the Viking Oracle cards, Wisdom of the Ancient Norse, put together by Stacey DeMarco. You find that interpretation in here. You don't usually find that interpretation online. So let's move forward to Inguz. Inguz is a very interesting rune. It's usually identified as or associated with a seed, the gestation period before something emerges, before you manifest things in your life. And the question was, what does this person want? Well, I'll tell you something. Every time I think about the Inguz rune, I think about this dude that I know. He had quit as a cook at an establishment that I worked at, and he ventured off on his own. And before he met a woman that he had a passionate affair with, he had been abstinent for a very long time in a relationship that wasn't really going anywhere, and he had separated himself, and he was kind of going through a dry spell. And just before he met this woman, he found something that reminded me of this rune on the ground. In addition to that, he was recreating himself from a career perspective, and just before he flourished and grew and secured a really good job, he found a rock that had resembled this rune. And I remember I said, this looks like Inguz. So this reminds me of a lot of fertility, male fertility. There is a masculine, a divine masculine who has their eye on you, and they see you as a sexually provocative character that can bring a lot of happiness to their life, and they want to build that happiness. This isn't somebody who wants to sit on the sidelines while somebody comes into their life and gives them things. This is somebody who likes to work for things. And then I got the Fridgerd rune here, card. And this I had discussed in another reading, is a place that warriors would go and gods and goddesses would go, where they put down their swords. They could not shed blood in this sacred place, and they would gain peace and meditation and relaxation. So this person, definitely, whomever this person, whether you are single in a relationship, what they want from this connection is they want the spark. They want you to fulfill their needs. They want to fulfill your needs. They want things to gestate between the two of you. They want fertility. They want that passionate physical interaction. They want things to grow. They want things to blossom, but they don't just want love and romance and physical connection. They also want the long-term plan. which is similar to what we see here with the Knight of Cups, this romantic, loving, dreamy proposition in conjunction with this gift from the universe that can help you manifest concrete, stable assets in your life. I asked about the people involved. I received the Queen of Wands and I received the King of Swords. So, you know, the King of Swords always strikes me as a person who could literally be a military person, law enforcement, somebody who is in a position where they have authority, they make rules, they enforce rules. So they might not necessarily be a man in uniform, but they sure as heck act like a man in uniform. This person has complete control over their emotions, but for them to come to the table and engage in this type of energy exchange means a lot. And we have the Queen of Wands here, who is fiery and passionate and might have a little bit of a temper. You know, whenever you hear online guys saying, why would I be with a Latina? I'm not a Latina. My family's from East Central Europe. We're an entirely different personality type. But you'll hear this a lot on social media. Why do I like a Latina? She's passionate, you know? And they love the way these, you know, Hispanic women come across. Well, this is the vibe I get. This woman is like all about love and fire and energy, but at the same time she's got an explosive personality, and this guy kind of stabilizes that with his logical approach to life. Regardless, you cannot underestimate this woman, because she also fell with the Page of Swords, meaning conversations, truth, intellect, investigation. She's highly intelligent and you can't get much past her. And this man here is all about uniting different aspects of their relationship in order for them to work together as a team. He wants ethical movement forward, shared objectives, truth between the partners, mutual goals, and teamwork. So we have a connection here with the 30 Saz rune here in reverse, which shows that this connection in the past had a lot to do with internal conflict, poor timing, nervousness, stubbornness, rushing into choices, holding back, being fearful of deception, some overreactions, and having to step back and reevaluate the connection, postponing major decisions, misplaced desires, not dealing with obstacles properly. And then we get moving into the current situation where we have courage to deal with the indiscrepancies that were dealt with, that were not handled properly in the past. And then for future, we have the Awaz rune, which you can't really see. It's similar to the yew tree. It looks, I can't even capture it here, but this is about spiritual bonds, deep commitment, having patience, being resilient through challenges, a relationship going through rough patches, but going through profound transition. This is a rune suggesting a long, the relationship and the bond having longevity, something that lasts for a long time. The harsh conditions that the relationship has gone through will make the bond that much closer. And if there is an ending, it doesn't end the bond. So there is that. And if you're a single person, what's happening here is in your life you have gone through a lot of hesitancy where there's relationships concerned. You overreact, or other people have overreacted around you, and you've been very fearful of deception, and you haven't really wanted to move forward because you can't really trust your temperament and that of others. And right now you're hitting a phase where you're opening up to love because you can sense it around yourself, and you've become courageous. You have done a lot of inner growing through your trials and tribulations. And you do have a partner coming in, but the cards are warning that you use communication, truth, intellect in order to move forward and harness the more powerful emotions of passion and desire so that you can have a balance, because there is romance around you and gifts from the universe to initiate that spark that you've been longing for. You've gone through a huge period of growth and gestation, and now you're finally opening up and wanting to share that with someone else, and that someone else is somewhere around the corner.